Alright guys, so this is my first official little video by myself, right? Just no gameplay, just stuff that I want to talk about. And today was perfect. Not perfect in the sense that it was perfect, but in the sense that today had to be my first day to do the first video. The reason why I knew it was the perfect day to do this was I got a phone call from my mom today. And the way she preferenced the phone call, it almost sounded like someone had died in my family. Like it was really grim, and I was concerned, and I was doing my own thing at the time, so it really threw me off because I had to stop and kind of adjust and kind of brace for bad luck. But as she starts telling me the story she had to tell me, I quickly discerned that no one died. Like I don't know what made her preference the story like she did. I don't know any of that, right? But the way that she made the story sound, the tone in which she said it, made it sound like this was gonna end with someone's death, and I was gonna be upset and all that good stuff. But I discerned at the end of the story that this was about how she had just gotten a phone call from my father's new wife and how heartbroken she was that she didn't think that my dad was going to go back to her. Now, let me take you off kilter just for a second. He'd say, why are you telling me this story? I have a point to it. During the middle of the story, she said, do you even care on how I feel about the situation? And I told her, I do, but at the same time, I've been through it too. I mean, like, it's not like I'm a child anymore. And a lot of parents forget that, your kids grow up and they go through stuff just like they went through stuff. So I've had that happen a lot of times in my life already, where I thought that someone I was pursuing or had strong feelings for was going to come around and I was going to eventually be able to, claim that as my own. But life has shown me that that's not always the case. And when I told my mom these things, when I told her, did you really think that he was coming back? She honestly answered to me, yes. She thought that after all this time, especially since he had been divorced, that everything was going to go okay. And I was flabbergasted. I was really astounded that I came to the conclusion that my mom should have come to this conclusion a long time ago. But in her eyes, this was a travesty. This is wrong. Someone should go rewrite the history books for this one because it's not right. But I saw where it was going. I knew this, and I told her, like, if you didn't know that this wasn't going to happen for a long time, I don't know how to make you understand that this was a reality. Now, I said all that to say this. A lot of people get stuck in life. I mean, just really get stuck on stuff. I mean, not just stuff like that. Like, I mean, they get stuck up on people and things and feelings. Like, and let me expound on that. So, when I say getting stuck on, alright, so let's say people. In my mom's instance, she got stuck on whatever her and my dad had, before I was born. Which I respect because that was there before I was. So it had to be something real. But I'm almost 29 this year. My mom's way over 50. How did you think that out of all these years that was going to come back around? And I'm not saying to give up hope, but I'm also saying that everybody should be realistic. And if I could realize this at the age that I'm at, then a lot of other people have probably either come to the realization or can still get there. But that's what I mean by getting stuck on people. I mean, sometimes just having that person around is comforting, even if it's in an annoying factor. And you would say, how could that be? You never really miss something until it's truly gone. So that one person that bitched at you all the time or got on your ass because you were doing X, Y, and Z like that person stops being around, you'll quickly feel that presence missing. So sometimes before we can progress forward, you gotta stop getting stuck on people, because sometimes those people leaving your life do you more of a favor and actually do themselves more of a favor in the long run than what either party really realizes, to be honest with you. And like getting stuck on things, getting stuck on things is the stupidest, most basic form of us getting stuck. We'll dedicate our lives to making sure that we have Jordans on, or flashy rims, or a big ass house that we don't really need. But we get stuck on these things, and these things change our lives getting stuck on them because we make bad decisions. And that don't have to be materialistic things. It can be drugs. It can be, it can be a number of things in that category. But at the end of the day, we still get stuck on them for no reason. Doing away with them is like the best thing that we can do with our lives sometimes, but it takes that extra push or that maybe even just staying woke, and that's a hard thing to do, especially when you wake yourself up and you do your own thing. It's a hard thing to come by, and a lot of people don't realize how hard that is. That's about as hard as public speaking, and a lot of people don't realize that a lot of people would rather die than speak publicly or do anything on YouTube or anything like that. They don't even want to be seen. It's just not their thing. And I understand. I mean, and then the last and worst thing to do is to get stuck on a feeling. Oh, I have a feeling. I feel like this is going to come to fruition. I feel it. Like, it's there. I know it. I fucking know it. It's coming. But it's never coming. And sometimes we have to accept that hard reality that it's never coming, and it's never going to come, and that we should probably point our lives in a different direction. Everybody can do it. And it's hard. It's not an easy road by far. I mean, personally, just me, losing my job, getting laid off, having to do all this stuff on my own and kind of live life how I see fit. It's hard waking up sometimes, man. Doing the streaming or recording or any of this stuff, you're very uncertain. It's an unsure thing. It's a leap on faith. And I have to quote Kenzo on this. Like, he's really doing his thing, And just like he said, a lot of people are going to ask you, is this the way you really want to go? Why not grind out another 9 to 5, the regular thing? When you have a drive and a passion for something, you'll get up and do it. And it's all about getting up and not being stuck in that bubble. Not getting stuck is the key. And a lot of people get stuck really easily. And it's easy to get stuck. I don't want it to make it sound like a weak thing to get stuck. Because it's easy to get stuck. And I've been stuck. And you've probably been stuck. And a lot of other people too. But I'm making this video more or less for the people who get stuck, because we all get stuck. And when I talked to my mom today, she thought I was very cold and careless about the way that I was talking to her. But I was trying to be very matter of fact and clean cut, because I wanted to say the things that would hurt her the least. And even though I said some things that were real, they were very minimal. And we try and do that with each other sometimes, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But everybody has to realize at the end of the day that they have to be making the decisions they're making for themselves. And getting stuck is a decision that you make for yourself every day. Every day you decide to get up and give it to someone else, or give it to being stuck because of X, Y, and Z. You're deciding to do that. No one else is. And I give that to myself as well as you and anyone else watching. I mean, it's something that you have to want to do. And if you don't want to do, you'll find yourself easily subjugated by being stuck. Stop being stuck. It's not the thing that anybody wants to do. It's not forward progression. It stops friendships. It stops families. It stops relationships with loved ones when you don't have to do that. Stop being stuck. Stop using it as an excuse and get up and do it. I mean, I don't want to sound like Shia LaBeouf, but do it. I mean, just fucking do it. I do it. It's hard. But it's the fact that at the end of the day, will you be satisfied with your own results if you don't do it? And it could be something as simple as not getting up and going to the gym that day. That whole day you're going to be thinking, I could have went up and got up and went to the gym. But you didn't. So now you're faced with thinking about that all day. And it may not make you change your whole life's attitude or make you look at things in a different way. But I mean, every day you could be doing something a little bit more to change yourself and make yourself happier with your life instead of being stuck and just saying, why am I doing this? Why am I stuck here doing whatever the hell I don't want to be doing right now that's making me question my life? And I, for one, have been doing that and trying to get better at it every day. And I wanted to personally make this video right here, my first VOD, to be about not getting stuck and just moving forward. I also want to give a shout out to a lot of the people who have supported me. And you know who you are without me going through a list of like 20 people. You really know who you are. And I thank all of you for doing what you've been doing. And I hope that this is the last thing that I do. And I hope that you guys continue to support me, because I'm going to continue to support everybody I can. Everything that I want to do, I want to move forward with. I don't want to get stuck with anything. No regrets, nothing. I want it to be a forward-moving progression for everybody supporting me, watching me, trying to do anything like me. I mean, hell, let's not all get it together. Let's get it together. With that being said, if you watched through the whole video, I definitely appreciate it. And we in there. And keep pushing forward. Don't get stuck.